welcome back again to my channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you how to make this simple DIY milkmaid top with no pattern whatsoever. I love the fact that I can wear it as an off shoulder, and then I can also wear it like this as a puff sleeve. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So this is the fabric I'll be working with. So what I'm doing right now is taking the measurement for my bust area. So the measurement for my bust area is 34. Then I'll divide that by 4, and after dividing it by 4, I'm going to multiply it by 1.5, which will give me 13, so that it is big enough to create the ruffles you see at the bust area. Okay, so I'm basically doing the same thing to the other end, because as you can see from the fabric, both ends are the same color. So I'm just trying to work with one strip to create the front and the back bodice. So after doing that, I am just taking the measurement from my upper bust area to the length I want the top to be at, and the length I wanted was 16 inches, and I added 3 more inches for seam allowance and casing for the elastic that is going to be at the top of the bodice. So what I'm doing right now is just tracing or cutting the fabric out from the rest of the fabric for both the front and the back of the top. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut the fabric for my sleeves. So for your sleeves, if you want it puffier than mine was, you would need to make the width bigger or make the width wider. So I chose 24 inches for my width, so it wasn't as wide or as puffy. So if you want it wider, you could make it well, 26 to 30 inches depending on how puffy you want the sleeves to be. And for the length, I made it 12 inches, and I added 1 inch seam allowance as well. So I'm just tracing that out, and I'm going to cut it out for both hands. Okay, so now we're going to start working with the top of the body. So what I'm doing is that what I'm doing right now is that I am marking 2 inches from the top of the fabric, and after that I'm going to start marking 1 inch above where I marked to my under bust. And the reason why I'm making it 1 inch above where I marked is because I'm going to fold that top there, and when you fold it for the casing, the folded part, the way you start from the folded part is going to be the top of the beginning or the top of the top. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, after that, marking it, I'm just marking the other side as well, because as you can see, this is folded. So after doing that, I'm just going to fold the top like so to create the casing to have my elastic band pass through. Okay, so now after doing that, I'm just going to sew along that line there, and I'm going to start shirring that line you saw there. So let's just start by sewing the line, or sewing the side for the casing where we're going to have the elastic band pass through. As you can see, I'm folding the edge just a tad bit, and I'm sewing along that. Don't forget to backstitch when you start and when you end your project. So after doing that, I'm going to use this elastic band and pass through. So in order for you to get the exact measurement or the exact size of elastic band you want, you take your elastic band and wrap it around your upper bust area. After wrapping it around your upper bust area, you'll divide whatever you get by 2, and that's going to serve as the elastic band for the front, because we're only putting this in front and not at the back. The back is going to be shared all the way from the top to the bottom. Okay, after doing that, so now we're going to start sharing. So if you're new to sharing, it's really not as difficult as it looks. All you just need is an elastic thread, and you just wind it around your bobbin. So when you're using your machine to do this, you want to make sure that you aren't stretching the thread, because it's stretchy and it's an elastic thread. You just let it wind freely. And once you cut, I really do not like having to use my hand to wind the bobbin. I'm so impatient. So yeah, after doing that, you just use a straight stitch to stitch this to create your shearing or your smoking. And don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and backstitch at the end of each one. So for the front, I did the shearing 11 or 12 times, and this is what it's going to look like. This is the front of it, and the back you'll see in a minute. So the back is where the elastic thread is going to be at. So this is what it looks like. So the more you shear, the more shrunk up it's going to look. So like I said, I did this 11 or 12 times, and what I'm doing is that I'm using the previously sewn part to be a guide for the other ones, so that everything is on a straight line. So I believe that the sharing was the most time consuming part for me. Okay, so after sharing both the front and the back, this is the back right here, and I'm going to connect them together, having right sides facing each other, and I am just going to sew on the lines on the sides using a straight stitch. Okay, so after sewing that, the next thing is I'm going to hem the bottom of the top, so we can hide the raw edges there. You made it all better. Now it's messing with my head, yeah. We don't say goodbye. Okay, so after doing that, we're going to start working with the fabric for the sleeves. What I'm doing is I'm marking 4 inches down, and I'm going to create like a curve, as you can see, and connect it to what I marked on the side right there. Then I'm going to just cut off the excess fabric we do not need anymore, and you're going to do this to the other fabric as well. So what I'm doing right now is that I created a casing at the top where the elastic band is going to pass through, and I'm just sewing all that down. Okay, so now I am also folding or hemming the bottom of the sleeve. So what you do is you fold it twice and just sew that down. Ask the question, then you said it. Always saying things you're regretting. Can't erase the steps we've taken. Can't go back to the time and place we met. I was so upset. Okay, so now what I'm going to do right now is initially I planned on marking 2 inches above where the sleeve ends, but I felt like it was just going to be too much, so I went ahead to make it 1.5 inches, and that's where I'm going to start shearing from upwards. So what I'm doing right now is I am passing my elastic band through the casing I created. So the measurement for the elastic band is the circumference of my upper arm area, and that is what I'm doing right there. And the reason why I use the upper arm area is so that I can make this as an off shoulder top as well as a puffy sleeve if I decide to. And after doing that, I just pin both sides down there, and I'm now shearing the bottom part of the sleeve. So what I did is that I shared it 4 times, I believe. Yeah, you could make it 5 times if you want, but I felt like 4 was enough for me. So after sharing, the next thing is you're going to have right sides facing each other, and you're just going to sew just along the sides there using a straight stitch. Okay, so after sewing, this is what you'll have. So you want to turn it having right sides out, and now you're going to want to connect the sleeves to the top. So what I'm doing is I'm placing the edge that was sewn for the sleeves to the edge that was sewn on the top, on the sides of the top, and I'm pinning that down first so that I can work with the other parts. What I'm doing is I'm taking a measurement of 3 inches from where I initially pinned, and I'm going to pin on that side right there, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side as well. So it depending on how far away or how close you want it to be from your armhole. So if you want it further away, you could make it 4 inches, but I felt like 3 was good because it wasn't too far away from my armhole area. Okay, after doing that, the next thing is you're going to want to sew like you'd sew diagonally from the left side downwards, then in the curve area, then sew diagonally upwards to the right, rather than just sewing like a straight line, because if you do sew like a straight line, it's going to look a bit weird. So yeah, and after doing that, this is what you'll have, and I really love this top. It's so summer friendly if you ask me, and I love the fact that I can make it an off shoulder as well as a puffy sleeves. And this is what it looks like as an off shoulder top, and I'm going to show you what it looks like as a puffy sleeves in a minute. It's just very easy. All you just need to do is pull it up like you can see me do right here. After pulling it up, you're just going to just pull the bottom part like so. If you want to just give it a bit more puffiness to it, so like I said, you can make the sleeves way more puffy if that is what you want. And I was just okay with this size. So yeah, this is what it looks like as a puffy sleeve. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next video next week. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and bye.